I guess I'm the shadow. Well, this is the floor for the dirty kitchen and motorcycle parking lot right now. I pretty much let them do what they want to try here. So we've got rounded corners, and of course the plumbing goes. I told them where I wanted the plumbing. This is 16.5 feet by 25 feet. It have about the same equipment as a house kitchen, except our house kitchen is over the top. Oh, okay. There's a 8-inch concrete reinforced footer around this thing, and the slab today is a floating slab. It's going to sit on this footer out here, and if there's an earthquake, it can slide back and forth. We're not doing anything special to anchor it to the footer. These vertical rods are only tied to the current rebar. They're not drilled into the concrete. But we wanted a hook on the bottom to get a better grip on it. And it's got plumbing on both sides because there's two counters, one down each side. This one over here is not expected to have anything except some bar stools. You know, some place workers can eat, and we can pile stuff, you know. And this is all experienced lumber. These are forms that were used for the spider beam upstairs, and we keep reusing them for everything else. I don't know if you can see the fishing line. I can see one in the sun over there. I don't know if it'll show up in the camera though. The videos do better than the camera, as you can see while you're using it. Anyway, this plumbing has got the 45 up is the clean out, and the vertical piece is going to catch a sink. It looks like it's really far in from the edges of the concrete, but what it is it's there's a formed up concrete wall goes around this thing, and it sits in the middle of this beam rebar thing. So really it's not that far from the wall, and it would have been really ugly to try to put it down through the middle of this you know, beam. I had thought about it, and then I thought about just running a 2-inch down it, but trying to make the bends that come up through that, the cages were already in the hole when we decided that we had to get the plumbing in there, which we would have done it that order anyhow. That's just the way it would go. And we purposely, absolutely purposely, put this thing crooked. If you're going to have something out of square, don't have it, you know, half a degree out of square. People pick up on it and it looks like crap. Put it out enough that it looks like it was intended, and no problem then. And here's our location, is next to the construction stairs. And oh, I don't know if you can see how much nicer the skim coat looks up there than the bare concrete wall down here down below it. The one down the bottom is rendered. We rendered the concrete because I didn't know that you could get those orange plastic pieces out. Texas Filipino walked right up and pulled one out. I says, I bet he took that out and put it back for the demonstration, but it does come out. He's taking it out. So we went upstairs and got a washer on a piece of threaded rod and found we could knock ours out too. But meanwhile, we've rendered the whole dang house, except for the inside walls where we would have done it anyway. Let's see. Oh. Huh?
Then it's just come early. He hasn't.
Morning.
so far. It would be if Nanny was here. We pre-stage everything. Normally, our rows of bags, it's 5 bags of stuff. That's 2 sand, 3 gravel, and a bag of cement per mix. That makes 5 cubic feet US. And we stack them in the rows that way, so as they go, you just use the rows down. But the big thing is it's already bagged up. It's close to the mixer, and the water is, the drums are filled. If the city water goes off, we got water to finish without having to scramble. I don't know why it's so close to the mixer. Usually we give it about a 5-foot radius that, you know, you can walk around it. But they'll use those bags first because they're in the way. Yeah, there's a better look at the difference between rendered or skim coated and not skim coated. And our security lights. They're not really security lights. Those there's going to be security lights, but those lights just light up that deck up there. They use 4-watt LED bulbs. Two of them, 2 bulbs per fixture. So that's our way of thinking. That's a lot of light. Works at the house we stay at. That's all we have per room is a couple of those 4-watt bulbs. But I think I might use 6s on some of these, like in the lanais up there. Of course, they're going to attract mosquitoes and bugs, you know, at night. Normally, the mosquitoes don't get up that high as that first roof level. They don't fly that high. So when the mosquitoes are really bad, people just move in up there into that roof, you know, into the lanais, or they go up under the slab over the spider beam. There's a 2-foot high by about 12 foot by 8-foot space, and they just throw the stuff in there and sleep under the roof. And that's kind of handy later on at night when it cools off, because the heat from the house comes out of those vents. So it's like you don't have to have any blankets up there. It stays warm most of the night. And we're waiting for the guy who runs the mixer this morning. I'm not sure who we'll use if he doesn't show up, because we hired the extra guys to load the mixer. You really need 3 people to load the mixer. These bags are heavy to get off the ground. One guy can carry them, but he can't pick it up and get it on top of his shoulder or however he wants to carry it. So we have one guy that grabs hold of one side of the bag, and the guy going to carry it, he grabs the other side, and they just snatch it up. So you have one guy out here that he stands by the pile, and he loads the other 2 guys with sand and gravel. And since they're bagged up 3 and 2, you know, in a row, he doesn't have to walk around much, and they know where to walk to. So right now we're bringing out cement. We don't generally pre-stage cement, except that we're pretty sure we're going to pour today, and if we don't, we'll carry it back. Because we're going to be paying these guys all day, whether the guy for the mixer shows up or not. And we'll give him another chance to show up tomorrow. We may have to go get him, I don't know. Well, I suppose everybody's seen people carry bags of stuff before, so we're going to shut this off and try to pick it up when we're actually pouring.